You get an obsessive crush out of your head. Get to know them / talk to them. You'd be surprised how quickly crushes go away once you find out what kind of person they are. Or it could backfire and you like them even more. Get rejected. Face reality. Go to Reddit, tell your story on r/relationship advice and get a tons of Fs in the chat. Find one other crush. Have 2 crushes, now your obsessiveness is halved. Understand that you don't like them, but instead like your fantasy of them. The more you think about someone, the more your brain feeds you fantasies and thoughts that feed into your obsession and make it seem normal to you. Understand, assuming that they don't reciprocate your feelings, you're wasting a lot of time and energy. There's virtually nothing you can do to create a sudden romantic interest in you, you can't persuade them and patience won't change either. Cut your losses. Learn to love yourself. A lot of times, people who develop unhealthy obsessive crushes have this idea in their mind that this seemingly perfect person would make their lives better. You don't need another person for that. Whether it be a psychologist, working out, new social groups and hobbies, find something that genuinely makes you happy and learn to appreciate your own company. The right person will come along eventually. But if you feel like you're being obsessive with crushes, you're likely not in the right mental headspace for a relationship anyways. Edit, typo. Time. Develop interests. Bang her sister. Surgery OFC. YTF would there be a person in your head? Think about the long run, how dumb it is to have a crush on that person and have more important things to think about. Ask them out. Break all contact. I finally lost interest in my crush after 2 years when I graduated and stopped seeing him daily. Ask them out and be ready to accept their answer, either way. I had a crush on someone for a few years who wasn't directly part of my social circle, and every 3 to 6 months I'd run into them again and my crush would reignite. Eventually, and with the help of one of her friends, I'm ashamed to say lol, I asked her to hang out. We went on a little walk, I felt as though we had a lot in common, but ultimately she wasn't interested. I was pretty disappointed, but after a few days I was surprised how good I felt, the crush was over and I was free to move on. I don't regret it at all, the only regret I have, if any, was waiting so long before asking her out. In short, either outcome is good, one is mutual interest, the other is closure and freedom for you. Tilt your head sideways and smack your ear a couple times. Should fall right out. Picture her having explosive diarrhea. If your crush doesn't likes you back, why do you spend your time for absolutely nothing? Know your self-worth, and move on. Shoot your shot. Best case scenario, you get a date. Worst case scenario, you get turned down. Sometimes rejection is easier to deal with than not knowing, at least you would have a definitive answer. Get depressed and lose all hope. Kill them. Get lost in fictional worlds. Books, TV shows, games, movies. Watch porn and let post-nut clarity ensue. Befriend your crush from 30 years ago on FB.org and realize how profoundly boring they are. Slide into those DMs anyway and suggest a cocaine-fueled party weekend at some crappy resort far away from spouses and offspring. She'll say no and you'll be too embarrassed to ever think about her again. Nothing worked for me, but distance helped. We met in kindergarten and ran around together. I fell for her in 2nd grade and it only got worse as she developed into one of the most beautiful women I've ever known. She's smart, kind, funny, beautiful, and is aware of my feelings. It's been 25 years since we graduated high school and I still think of her frequently. There have been other crushes and actual girlfriends, but she's been there in the back of my mind the whole time. If she came to me tomorrow and asked me to run away with her, I'd say no. I still care for every woman I've ever loved and would drop everything for them if they needed help, but I wouldn't give up my girlfriend for anyone. But that crush is eternal, and I suspect will be the last thing my eventual dementia takes from me. Stalk them and kill all of their friends, then move to Los Angeles. You have to find another crush to focus on. If not, you'll be stuck on it for a long time. You don't. You'll be stuck with the thought, I'll never be able to be with them. It'll consume you from the inside. You'll try to live with it, but no matter what you do, whenever you think about it, you die a little bit. Keep thinking and planning how to finally ask them out. Realize they probably hate you, they really don't, but irrationalize it. Overthink it too much. Hate yourself and boom, now you have a shit mental state, meaning you'll never be confident enough to ask someone out. Go to town with your lil fella, post-nut clarity ensues. Do you still think about her? Number problem solved. Yes, ask her out. Either way she answers, problem solved. Do none of the above and you'll be in torment for a long time. Whack your head with a hammer. Doubt you'll remember much of anything. Okay, so, about 2 weeks ago I broke up with a girl I loved so much. Towards the end our relationship, it felt plain and awkward, but I still had feelings. The day we broke up was the day I lost myself. I cried while eating Nutella sandwiches and I never felt so bad in my life. About 1 week after the breakup I realized she was talking to another bloke. I was so fucking pissed that I ended up shagging her sister. The end. But you're here for tips, yes? Eat Nutella. You wait it out. If it's driving you nuts that you think about them constantly, do this. When the thought of them pops into your head, instead of going God damn it I'm thinking about them again, think about how long it's been since you last thought about them. Wow. I went 5 minutes this time. I would smack myself across the face every time I thought of them. No kidding. It kind of worked. I was aware that I was fucking crazy to be smacking my own face, but I was obsessing over this person, like could not stop thinking about them. Within a couple of days of smack therapy, I actually did stop thinking about them so much. So, I'd say it was a success. Sincerely. Bruised Cheeks McGee. Accept that you're gonna suffer short term and yet don't let that hinder you from becoming better. Keep working out, working and learning. Reading Stoic philosophy also helps with most things. Oh, I am assuming you two talked and it didn't work out. Obviously, if you haven't, try talking to him/her first. Nightmares or dark comedy. Just tried it out. In a few months you'll probably be over them and looking back in mild horror at your previous obsession. Binge watch both seasons of You on Netflix, and find inspiration. Picture them pooping. Imagine them pooping. Focus on the things that you do. The things that make you more you-ish. If they are right for you, then when it's time to talk to them about your crush on them, then you'll have something to actually talk to them about. It depends. If it's unrequited, then let it die slowly. You'll have to just deal with it until it goes away. I would limit communication with them. If you work with them, I would limit bonding with them as well. I would also suggest maybe dating other people, if that's an option. If they don't know, tell them how you feel. Nah my dude, it's literally impossible. I had a crush for 5 years and it didn't go away until I found a new crush 6 months ago. Skeptical, you just gotta ride with it until you find another one.